Welcome everybody to Ballers and Briefs Week 15 Fantasy Showdown.
Let's go.
Back
Let's
one more
go.
time, and we are here. We are live.
Thankful.
Season is in full effect. Full effect. Congratulations on making the playoffs, my man.
Playoffs. You talking about the playoffs? Playoffs. I'm thankful. No, definitely. This has been in a 14-man league we're in. Just to give a little feedback. Season-long PBR league. This is actually the first 14-man league that I actually got a chance to be a part of. So it's definitely different. I will tell the listeners that the waiver wires are basically non-existent. It's definitely tough to kind of pick up kind of talented players. So you definitely have to kind of build that throughout your sort of drafting process. And a sort of a full team, not sort of just your starters, to be able to kind of waiver the buys and everything that goes along with it. But it's definitely been a good experience. But just to get a lock in the playoffs, you get that learning experience though, being in the 14-man league. You definitely have to work, but to get to the playoffs and at least clinch in the playoff spot. We'll see what happens after that. That's what they always say. You go back to 0-0 and you see what happens. But just thankful to at least get that little check mark next to the name a little bit and moving on.
I can't screw up this week. I need
what
this.
Up, Phil?
Phil, what's up,
buddy? We here, baby.
We here.
Yeah, we're just talking a little shit show fantasy league here, like talking about I can't screw up this week. I got a trap game this week. I'm setting in the number 1 overall seed, looking for a bye in the first round of the playoffs, and I could screw it up. Literally could screw it up this week. If I lose, I
open the door.
Number 2, open the door for the number 2 guy to scoop in and take the spot. So
pressure's on.
Yes, if I lose, I need him to lose. But let's hope to God that it all pans out and we move forward in the process. So I mean, luckily it's been the year that I've won the top score one time. My team's just not putting up points, or when they do put up points, someone like Brad over here puts up 50 more in their game than I did on a good week. So
not to brag a little bit, I'm actually second in the league in points scored. But unfortunately, sometimes they came at the wrong times because I took some L's early on. But I think I needed to learn from those early losses to grow the team, make sure I had it in the right spot, kind of moving down the stretch here. But thankful for Brock Bowers. Shout out to Brock Bowers. Thank you, sir.
McConkey, man.
Thank you.
I mean, you got him.
Those late picks like that might be the difference, man. Kind of having almost a rookie of the year candidate.
Oh, definitely. He's up there. I think that, speaking of rookie of the year, like they were talking about guys like him and BTJ and on the other side of the ball, Jared Burns. What's up, Nessa?
What's good, Nessa?
So she got her shirt, by the way. So
nice.
There we go.
Appreciate it, Nessa.
That's service delivery right there.
So but yeah, it's looking fun, like, to look for the next we play all the way to week 18. So the championship is week 18. So when the starters aren't in, it's scramble time. So let's hope that
you gotta have that lineup ready to go, because you're definitely going to lose a couple of players who are basically already in the playoffs. I know that definitely happened to me last year. Wasn't ready. You sometimes don't even think you're going to necessarily make the championship, and then you do, and then you're kind of looking around a little bit when you get to the end of that last week there. So if I say anything, it's definitely prepare for the end, prepare for a championship to win one.
These two guys here on the screen, they've been I've seen them on people's teams that are winning right now, and they're coming along at the back end of the season, and George Kittle is just doing exactly that, man. He's literally putting people on the map. And Puka Nacua this last week, 40 some odd points, right? So there you go.
Madden numbers.
I mean, I have a
Madden on Pro numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I have a few thoughts about Puka from last week. So I mean, Nessa saying it here. Kittle's the man. Obviously, he is the man. He's a man. He's a man for a couple reasons. Just because he seems to be cool as shit to hang out with in real life. He's like one of those dudes that you just like think that'd be cool to hang out with in real life. And Nessa, I'm sure you like him because he likes wrestling. He's a big wrestling guy too. So I know that. I know that for a fact. So, but a little bit of we can kind of hop over into speaking of week 14, a little bit of news that happened. So I guess the biggest thing that's come out today, and if this suit did not tell you that, I saw when I was looking for it. This man is in the suit. So Bill Belichick is finalizing a deal to become the next head coach at the University of North Carolina. Shout out to the Tar Heels, man. I don't know what it was. I don't know what they're doing, what they're giving him. But I'm sure he went in there with a book like this big and said, all right, here's my proposal. I'm putting it down on the table now, and you guys are going to take it or leave it. And I think that they said, all right, sir, we'll take it. 73 years old. Becoming, what's up, Pete? Hey, shout out to Pete. Pete had surgery today, or is going into surgery. And, prayers are with you, buddy. Get well soon.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But thanks for still stopping in and showing love. That much appreciated. Much appreciated.
But Belichick is gonna. I think he's gonna run this this university like an NFL team, and he's recruiting.
He said he is.
Yeah, his recruiting is gonna be like This is going to be a step. Put your foot in the door for the NFL. I'm going to prepare you to be an NFL player, and I think that's amazing.
Did you see also written within the contract is that after 3 years, his son takes over the team?
I didn't see that part. No,
yeah,
that makes total sense though.
It's literally, he wrote it all up. The whole game plan for the next 5 years is going to be run like a NFL program with a GM and everything.
Yeah,
sourcing players, paying players, etc.
It's like
exactly like one.
Going back to college.
Andrew Luck. I mean, Andrew Luck is now the general manager for Stanford University.
Yeah.
I mean, Andrew Luck, you guys know how good he was in the NFL, and dude's a genius. He's like on like a scale of the IQ scale. He's like almost a genius, and he has a degree in like architectural design or some shit like that in business or something too. And dude's going to be running the Stanford program the same way. So shout out to these guys that are finding new life in the college game. I mean, I do want to pat myself on the back because when I was in law school, you can ask Phil, I wrote my exit paper on the NIL. I was out in front of the NIL before it was a thing. And that paper ended up being printed in Forbes. Not by me. Someone changed the name on it and put my paper in Forbes. But by the way, so I like to just pat myself on the back and say that I was out in front of this shit before it happened. So good looks to Bill Belichick, and I hope nothing but success for him because I thought he was going to go back to the NFL, man. He had like 15 wins to break the all-time.
Maybe Jacksonville would be a destination that he would be interested in, kind of taking and running the whole thing, but I guess that wasn't in the plans. So good luck though at North Carolina doing it up, because I think Mac Brown had it going all right for a little bit. It kind of fell off the wagon, but his first couple of years with UNC, he was doing a really good job. So
yeah,
I think that Bill can kind of step in and compete quickly.
And I mean, you kind of alluded to Jacksonville. So since we got two Jacksonville players there on the screen,
Duval in the building.
You two, Josh Hines Allen, not to be confused with Josh Allen, could break the all-time Jaguar sack record. Was it 3.5 sacks? I believe is what he needs to break the all-time Jaguars sack record, and I think he does it. And then
he'll get there.
And then BTJ somewhere like 11 receptions and like 15 yards or some. Maybe I could be shitting myself on the yardage, but on the all-time rookie Jaguars receiving record. And if we didn't call that, saying that dude was going to be the number one there in Jacksonville this year, even with who they had, you guys didn't listen. So we literally called that, and pulled
We
it.
call it successes and the failures.
Pulled
We'll
out the
come to the
bags. Yes.
congregation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're not afraid to
a
come in
flop,
front of the
if he'd have
congregation.
been a flop, we would have said he's a flop, but he ain't a flop.
You
so
know, if we miss, we're not afraid to say we miss.
I mean, literally, I was doing some research last night. He's literally done more with less than Marvin Harrison and Malik Neighbors this season, touchdowns and yardage wise, with less receptions, less targets, or more receptions than them on less targets and more touchdowns than them. So, and he has more than Ladd McConkey as well. So there it is. It's
and like at least from a local radio perspective, just a little tidbit, they do expect him to continue to get sort of those, I call them Malik Neighbors target shares, where you're getting 10, 11, 12 targets per game. There's more talk of that basically moving forward as they kind of try to prime him for that number one role moving forward with the team. So it's definitely been sort of a bright spot as a Jags fan.
40 less targets than Malik Neighbors. 40. Malik Neighbors has had 126 targets. Malik Neighbors has had, BTJ has had 85. So what's up, Perico? We will get through the game and we will answer your question at the end. So just hang in there with us and we will get to it, I promise. So and if you have anything else a little bit about your lineup, like PPR, who else is in your lineup, that will be helpful as well. We appreciate that. And then we can go to the other Josh Allens. Josh Allen, first quarterback for 3 rushing and 3 passing touchdowns in one game.
Here, look at his history against the Rams. I did it. I know I went in the podcast. I said I think that game's gonna go under.
Whoa. War Eagles. Sorry, I didn't mean to stop.
Is it over?
Yeah,
is it
wow.
Wow. Is it over? Is it over?
That's what I like to see. Now that brings a smile to my face right there.
12-2. Is it over? Amazing. Did you win the whole thing, or is it over? Did you get knocked out? Assuming that you may have gotten knocked out. That saying I finished.
But, or wait. Yeah, I hope that he meant just like sort of the regular season, though.
The regular season?
I hope he's saying like regular season-ish.
Oh man, I need to know. Still, I need to know at this point.
Man, that's awesome.
So he posts. So during the podcast, I said superstition afternoon game. It was probably going to go under, and then afterwards, like the next day, I was looking at like player stats for certain teams, and nice. I looked up Josh Allen's. Good shit,
Let's go. Let's go.
That's what I like to see.
Josh Allen played the Rams twice, and he threw 4 touchdowns the first time and 3 touchdowns the second time, and now 6. So, like, my man has 13 touchdowns against them in 3 games. That is insane.
That is.
So, if he plays them next year, it's a lock button for me. I don't care if he's an afternoon game. Running him as the fucking QB on the slate.
I mean,
he's got them figured out, dude.
He's now on the tip for top 50 all-time rushing touchdowns.
Sheesh.
Wow.
So, all right, War Eagle. Yes, definitely. We got you. We got you for sure. But yeah, and then you talk about another rushing quarterback here in front of him. Have you heard the shit about Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown not getting along?
I heard there was some beef through a podcast that they should have came on here and talked that out. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The next time we would have made it right. We would have got it right.
We'd have mediated it. We'd have made
sure. It would have been all right after we were done.
Alternative dispute resolution, right here. You heard it first.
Just let us know. We offer those services. Just FYI.
Exactly.
We ever need them. You know what I mean? We there.
So supposedly that, just to fill you in, Phil, that AJ Brown was salty kind of in a way, and on the Brandon Graham podcast, who is the defensive player for the Eagles, Brandon Graham let it slip or talked about that there was beef between AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts, that they weren't seeing eye to eye right now. And then the rumors came out that AJ Brown might get traded coming in the offseason. So obviously, you know what that means. Everybody's mind is going like this, like the meme. So
D Smith for me. D Smith all day.
Devontae, yes.
Yeah. You got beef with me? Watch me throw the ball to Devontae every play. even when you're open.
Or Calcaterra.
Yeah, just watch it.
And then it was the thing about it is like people are like, oh well, yeah, AJ Brown. Did not AJ Brown not know that they brought in Saquon Barkley to run the ball and his reception count was going to go down, and he didn't play for like 3 games at the beginning, So like, what do you expect, bro? Like, I get it. If you want to go somewhere else, go somewhere else. If you have beef with your quarterback, have beef with your quarterback. But I mean, we've seen this shit in Philadelphia before with T.O. and Donovan McNabb. So, I mean, let's just be real that I have never known a Philly number 1 to ever really get along with the quarterback just that great anyway. So
I think in this day and era too, where you have the social media component, and I'm sure people are just absolutely destroying you because the fantasy points aren't coming in the way they hoped with the position they drafted them at. I'm sure that kind of irks you a little bit too, knowing that you can't necessarily 100% control that. Definitely as a receiver, so it makes it a little bit, hard from that standpoint.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
I get it. I mean, Cody saw me cuss out our quarterback at law school
and flag football over not getting targets.
Yeah, like, dude, I'm wide open. Like, what the fuck is you doing? So I get it, man. Like, when you're a wide receiver and you're running routes constantly, and you got the man beat, and you're not getting looks. At some point, you're gonna get frustrated. Like, I'm not gonna finna just keep tiring myself out, making this dude look bad, and you're not looking my way.
Yeah. And then, I mean, another, speaking of a wide receiver quarterback combo here, you can see my man, Joe Burrow here getting his head basically twisted off his shoulders. This is like the 3rd or 4th blatant face mask call that the NFL has missed in primetime games at that. Like the Sam Darnold one back middle of the season, in the end zone, but Bengals ended up gutting it out, and Jamar Chase in the captain's slot over 70 points again.
I'm tilted, dude.
Literally
I told
insanity.
Myself, Chase captain, and then I started looking at some numbers, and I was like, man, he ain't played that well against them. Higgins is cheaper. Let me run Higgins in the captain.
I went the other Chase. I went Chase Brown instead of Jamar.
I faded Chase. Dude, I was like, it's all or nothing, bro. He's captain or he's nothing. Faded him. So you already know. I did $100 single entry. I must have been in like 13th from last place. Like, it was bad. 6 points from Higgins and the captain is not gonna be good. I can't believe this.
Y'all saw hit that 6 for 6 on the pick 6 on the DraftKings for the overs and the unders prop picks, and I was like, this is my saving grace, because Chase Brown in the captain slot did nothing for me. Absolutely nothing. And that was my saving grace with the touchdown and the 2 touchdown, a 1.5 over to Joe Burrow for a passing touchdown. I was like, dude's gonna throw another one. He's going to. I know it for a fact. And then the game winner was like, yes, I needed it. Needed the under on Cooper Rush. Got that. Got the over on Dowdle. So I was like, dude, I killed it. So it made me happy. So, but that's basically this boils down to the NFL is going to be looking into changing the rule that they can make this reviewable, which it should be reviewable anyway. Like, it should be reviewable. The damn booth should be able to buzz down and say, hey, call that shit as a flag. Like, literally, you can call down and say someone has a concussion. Call down and say, yeah, that guy could have had his neck broke.
That's the reason they should be able to do it, because that shit right there looks dangerous.
Yeah.
What's even more interesting is that you have that ref kind of standing right behind the offensive line, and so they're kind of almost looking at the quarterback. So you would think the quarterback face mask would get called pretty frequently, because you could see that neck movement, that jerk. That's like an natural football position jerk movement. And so that's the sort of more shocking part than if you had a bunch of running backs, for instance, just recently, having a bunch of face masks that you don't call, because you know, they're in spots in different positions where you would miss it potentially. But from a quarterback spot, and the fact that Burrow, I think it happened to Darnold.
Yeah.
These are sort of fairly, you know, pocket passer style quarterbacks that aren't, you know, scrambling that much. And so it's just, again, it's kind of shocking that they're missing these calls real time.
Yeah, and it's like, well, a couple of weeks ago it was like the Bucky Irving one in Tampa a few weeks ago, which wasn't called as well, or back in October, I think it wasn't called as well, which he and that goes to he's running through the hole, but he literally, his head goes this way and his helmet even turns on his head. And when he comes to a stop, his freaking helmet's sitting kind of sideways. And like, literally, you can't. The damn camera saw it. The camera saw it. So I know the guys upstairs could see it. So, I mean, that's my thing. So, I think that's a good idea for them to be able to like the booth to be. I don't know if challengeable play is where it needs to go, but I think they should be able to whistle down from upstairs and get to that. So, but y'all want to talk a little bit of Millie action? So I found all three of the Millies, the two on DraftKings, the $555 one, the $20 one, and the FanDuel Millie. And I got thoughts about the FanDuel Millie. So just hang in there with us and you'll get my thought and my rant about the FanDuel Millie. So, and if you were here on Saturday, you know where the hell I'm going. So, so here is the $20 Millie maker. There's your Josh Allen for almost 55 at 6% ownership. And I did say, hey, you might want to look at Josh Allen because he was like 3% owned or 5% owned, whatever it was when we were looking at that. So what's up, Magic?
Everybody in that lineup is easy to get to.
We literally talked about every one of those. Yeah. Every one of those people.
We mentioned Mooney is leverage off of London.
The only person that we did not talk about, the only person in this lineup that we did not talk about at that very exact moment, I believe we did not talk about Charbs because we did not know at that exact moment that Kenny was not playing.
What's crazy is I had Charbs and Garindo in every lineup, including my single entry. And I had Justin Jefferson in every lineup, which did good as well. But I'll tell you, I'm officially banning Will Levis from ever playing that dude again in any lineup. That man cost me money, bro. How do you end with 7 fantasy points as a quarterback, bro? He had against like 20 yards. Yeah, against the team who gives up the most fantasy points per game to quarterbacks and the most fantasy points per game to wide receivers, and you throw for like 30 yards.
Hey, Magic, we'll answer that question when we get through this game. But tell me who the rest of your running backs are if you're trying to pick up McCormick, because that's insanity. And I feel like this has got to be you must be like in a league like we're in, this 12 to 14 man area if you're looking up Sincere. So just kind of give us a little bit more information. We appreciate that, buddy.
But I know the guy that was winning this was Sam Darnold, Jefferson, Addison Stagg. So I know he's sick after this game, after that Buffalo game started.
Let's I will since you just brought that up. Look at this one. This is a $20 one. Obviously, you guys can see there's 147,000 entries. And we talked about this last week that the $550 one was a little bit different. And this is 281 points. It's a lot, right? Okay, here is the $555 one.
I believe this guy won. I don't know if the same guy, but this lineup won the $100 single entry too.
Okay.
Well, there's your thing. Like your difference is essentially you got Darnold and Allen difference. You got Najee here, but you still have Garindo. So they still have the Steelers defense. They went to Najee instead of Freiermuth on the Pittsburgh side. And then the Juwan Johnson
It's funny. It's
And
still
then
a Pittsburgh player.
Stuck, yeah, and did that super stack with Darnold and Addison and John and Jetta. So, but Puka Nakua is there. I mean, we couldn't have laid.
I said that too. Somebody said something about Cup, and I said I'm playing Nakua over Cup, because that's who they've been throwing the ball to.
That's dope.
Man. Yeah, Nakua is like the dude.
He's been the guy, and that's
14 targets, 12 catches, 162 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
He's on the field doing everything, dude. Like I said, the dude loves the block.
That's sick.
Like I said, the only thing is that I could say that we did not hit, but we talked about the game was the Charbonnet pick, because I'm pretty sure at that moment in time when
Kenneth Walker was questionable at that time.
Questionable, I believe. I mean,
as soon as he went out, I liked Sharps in because of the value. He was only 4,800 to me, and I called that game. Okay. Right? I said the Seattle game was 6-16 last time. Yes. Everybody thought it was going over. I think it's going way over this time.
Yeah.
Yep.
There it was. There was the big fucking game that we thought was going to happen last time.
I literally have not refreshed the page, the injury report, since the Saturday show, and it literally still says Kenny Walker was questionable. And then so it didn't say he was, but we didn't. I actually don't think we went down through the full injury report because that game wasn't.
No,
it wasn't.
That wasn't on the.
It
was like 40 point over under, and I said that thing's going over.
Yeah,
all day.
Called it too.
Yeah, I mean,
but I still missed last week because I played fucking Levis, so can't get it always and all right.
I mean, no, and we've never claimed to be professionals at all. We are just guys that are.
If they go off,
love to talk football.
I might be a professional, but I'm not. I'm not gonna boost or brag. I'm not gonna promote it. But I think I have enough winnings and enough first places to be labeled. I just don't have a Roto Grinders account to be ranked.
Yeah.
If I made one and linked it, I might be ranked.
I can tell you, I've done enough research.
I don't know it all. I just give my opinion and my knowledge. You take what you want with it. Like I said, that game's going to go over, but I also said
research this
Buffalo's
week.
Going under.
Enough research in the last 3 days. Enough research to know in the last 3 days that McLovin, that dude, McLovin, that dude is out here just murdering people for the fun of it. It's literally his thing, and that's why he is the #1 on Roto Grinders right now. Because in FanDuel, and if you play FanDuel. And you're here, we tell you all the time, we are not super FanDuel players. We're not.
Nope.
We're DraftKings players because we do PPR. We like PPR better. We don't like that half PPR shit. And if you come here and you ask questions, we will give you the best piece of advice that we can give you, but we cannot give you guarantees. And as an attorney, and as Phil as an attorney, and as Brad as a financial person, we do not give guarantees.
It
is not a thing. You cannot.
And as I said, I was wrong about the Buffalo game. So I will hit some things. I will miss other things. I am just giving an opinion. Do what you want with it. My opinion seems to win a lot more than it loses. So I would listen to it sometimes, but you're supposed to use it, engage your own idea with what I'm saying. Like if I say I like something and you don't, then maybe you just stay away from it. But if I say I like something and you do too, maybe go all in on it, because then we both on the same page.
And then you talked about, and it was a throwaway game, the Saints defense, the Saints against the Giants. You could have played the Saints defense here for less than the Steelers, and they scored exactly the same 10 points. So plug and play, right? Like plug and play. It doesn't really matter. I personally didn't get to the Pittsburgh defense. I played the Saints defense.
I played the Titans defense.
Got 10 points because I
never
didn't
bet
trust
against Duval. Phil, you know better.
I didn't trust. I didn't trust the Pittsburgh defense because of Jameis Winston. So
I think they did good. I gotta check now though. I know at one point they were, but I don't remember it.
I
How it
will
ended.
just make note, about that Jags Titans game is that it's historically played close and sort of tight because it's a division game. And I think I mentioned last week about divisional matchups and sort of my sort of, adhesion to it a little bit because of the fact that again, they could potentially play close and kind of low scoring because both teams know each other. They see each other twice a year. They build their teams to kind of beat those teams, basically.
Yeah.
And so you have to think about that element when going into a matchup. Now, could it play over? Sure. Yes. And there is that possibility. Could it play high? Yes, there is that possibility. But there is
I didn't
also
even
that
think of
possibility that Jacksonville and, they even the last few matchups they played, really low scoring games, really tough defensive, run the ball type games. And it just happened to be that type of a game flow again. Jaguars were able to take advantage. Go Duval.
Yeah, Titans had 9 points, so not bad. 1 point less than the Steelers, and they cost 2,800. They cost 700 less, so you could have had more value there. But I don't know.
If you look at this guy, and if you go back to this one, they go back to this one, the $20 one. The guy, and I will say this, okay? I will die on the sword and say that we thought that Miami and that damn Jets game was going to be shit, and it was shit.
It was
until 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 9 minutes, okay?
I would say 4 minutes.
I looked at 9 minutes. I did the research. It was 9 to the 9 minutes is when the Dolphins, when that Tyreek Hill score happened. Okay.
Yeah, when they
place guy here has Tyreek Hill in his lineup.
They figured out that they could use the screen against the Jets and it would work. And they didn't figure that out till the fourth quarter. And when they figured that out, they tied the game and won in overtime. Other than that, they had 15 points scored on offense the entire game. And there's not one player from that game on either team in first place or second place of either one of these contests we just sent.
I will
make note. I will go in front of the
congregation
too on this one. Noted was that I had no idea that Sauce Gardner was not playing in that matchup. And so that to me would have also sort of maybe changed my feelings on that, as we had not sort of looked into that matchup really closely. And I think that also sort of swung some of the offensive production that you would have saw from a Hill or a Waddle not having a number one cornerback across on the other side. So that also sort of went into my decision, at least as far as for trying to help predict the matchup.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. I remember you talking about Sauce Gardner being out there, and then I heard it too, like right when the game started, like no Sauce Gardner, and I'm like, Tyreek might have a game here.
The second place in this, the 277.68, it does have Tyreek Hill in it. I will say, I would have never played that fucker. Never.
He hasn't done anything.
7,100 points and he had 31 fantasy points. Okay. In this particular lineup here, that's on the paper, you could have bailed on Khalil Shakir and played someone else that we told you to play, Jawan Jennings, for 5,200 and still beat this Tyreek Hill shit. That's what I'm saying. So don't if you come here, and we love to have people talk, we love to listen, and we love to hear other opinions. That's the thing. If we give an opinion that you don't like, we're glad to know that.
I would have
even War Eagle, the guy that's 12-2, even knew. He was even smart enough. It doesn't matter.
Trust me, if I say something and you disagree, and you say something in the chat and I disagree, I am not by any means saying that I am right and you are wrong. What I am
not trying to be disrespectful at all.
Don't follow that opinion, just like you don't follow my opinion. So trust me, I want you to talk in the chat. I want you to say things like that I may not be thinking, like Brad may not be thinking. We did not think Sauce Gardner was going to be out. So if someone would have commented like Sauce is out, Tyreek could have a big game, I probably would have changed my opinion. Because I literally, in my opinion, said Jets D was solid last week. They had like 6 turnovers on the ball, And the reason they didn't win was because the offense couldn't pull it together. But if that same
for-
defense was up, Miami's not been doing good.
We were
on
playing the
offense,
Jets
so-
defense. I want to put
and
that on
they're a
record. We never
division
said that.
rival.
We didn't
So-
say that.
They're a division rival, and they've been playing good, and Miami's been playing bad on offense. So I'm not playing that game. That's all I said. I did not say you shouldn't play that game. I didn't say your opinion is shit. None of that. This is my opinion. I'm not playing that game. And I was correct because that fucking game is not in the Millie Maker lineup. So
Yeah. And it didn't win $1 million. Okay. And it damn sure didn't win shit in FanDuel. For the person who attacked us character-wise, and if you come on the show, and I hope you watch it because I know you're still following us, I hope you attacked our character for one. You said some very bad racial slurs on social media, and I hope that you think that you're living really well with that. Okay? You went on social media and you started racially slurring, okay? That's not even cool, bro. Like, I hope that you can live with what you said. And that person we thought was a really, really not, I'm not going to say their name, but most of you that are here every week know who we're talking about. Okay. The person, we've given you way more than what we should have ever given you. And then the way that you've treated us and acted recently. I'm not an asshole, but when you attack my boys here, these dudes that are below me are like my brothers. And when you attack my brothers, you could say shit about me all day, but don't say shit about them. It's like you can say shit about me all day, but don't say shit about my wife or my kid. You know, so like I protect mine. And if you don't like it here, there's the door, bro. So that's my thing. And evidence exhibit A, there ain't a fucking Dolphins player in this. That's all I got to say. Everybody, if you didn't have people who we talked about from the game that we talked about, you did not win this measly ass $200,000 that FanDuel pays out in their $1 million contest.
Everybody in that lineup is from a game we discussed, except for this. Actually, we discussed the Steelers game. So yeah, everybody in that lineup is something we discussed. Every single one. So we left out the fucking Miami Dolphins and the Jets game as a reason because not a single player from there was in.
And in the $10,000 single entry on FanDuel, the guy that won $10,000. Guess who he had from that damn Jets and Miami game?
Braylon Allen.
Braylon fucking Allen, who I said for you to play if you were going to play somebody from that game. Thank you. $10,000 richer. So I'm done with my rant. But again, don't character attack, dude. So thank you for everybody that's still here. Thank you for living through my rant. And we appreciate every one of you because you are the true fans. The true people, because you're not here to win
if
shit.
we call something out on the show and we say, hey, it's gonna go this way, and it doesn't go that way, throw it on the social media. Let us know that it didn't go that way. Rip us on it. I love that. Go ahead and rip us. Call us idiots, call us clowns. But when it goes beyond that, that's where we know it's gone too far. But no victim mentality over here. We over here winning. I'm living a good life. No one's gonna slow me down with nothing like that or anything along those lines. So don't worry about me. Don't have a pity party for me. Yeah. I'm living an awesome life in the United States of America.
I'll take that and double it. I'll take that and double it, but
I'm all good over here. You can shoot whatever shots you want. That's all good. I'm still healthy. I'm still good and blessed by the Lord. It's all good.
Yes, exactly. Right. Receipts. And if you're going to attack us, please give us receipts because we will. I'm telling you, like I said, I will eat shit live on this show. We've done it before and I will do it again.
I think I come on here every episode and say the shit that I got wrong. Literally, it's how I start. Like, I got that wrong or I got that right. Man, I'm never going to get it all right.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah. So,
but
anyways,
I know we say this all the time, but ultimately, again, we just are here, just three guys talking ball and want to see everybody win. Whether you believe in our opinion or not, we just want to see people winning, man. That's the whole point of the show. Everyone's just trying to win, whether it's season long, in the season long perspective, or daily fantasy.
And if we screwed you, with their advice, please tell us. We would love to know because it would be like, I'm sorry.
It's a reason
we're just giving opinions on fantasy football.
We give back where we might have got something wrong. That's our give back.
Yeah.
We do not advertise the know-it-all. We do not advertise that if you follow us, you're going to start winning. No, we spit what we know. We give our opinion. We talk about the games and what we think's going to happen. If you follow and make money, we don't want none of it. We just want you to come and say thank you like a lot of you have. If you lose, then you know we lost too. And I'll be the first one to come in here and say I was wrong, just like I did about Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I was definitely wrong, but I did say my superstition is that game will be low. But it's, I wouldn't follow that is what I told people. Literally my exact words.
Yeah, exactly.
All love.
So now that the rant is over, it's exactly the same lineup pretty much as the DraftKings one. So just take that as what you will, besides the Philadelphia defense, which
and Brian, I think me and Nick owes you so much money. Nicholas Fizzy.
Fizzy lifting drinks. If you know what I'm talking about with Willy Wonka, that's Fizzy lifting drinks. So what we really came here to talk about is Mr. Money in the Bank here, Puka Nacua, and I think George Kittle's got to be he's one of my top 3 players in the league, dude. I literally just like the guy a lot. Phil even wears his t-shirts.
Who?
Kittle.
Oh yeah, I do, from Chubby's.
Yeah, I actually saw one in the store the other day, and I think it had him on it, or it looks like.
Yeah, he's got a couple out new ones that have him on it.
Yeah, it was.
Mine doesn't though. I forget what it looks like, but yeah, it's him. It's got some hints to him on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Puka Nacua is the highest owned player tomorrow. I'll let y'all know that now.
Oh yeah.
That's why. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is the thing. It was so hard to figure out what who's going to be super chalky at that moment in time. For the simple fact of the matter is, it's just this game. This game is a division game. Again, what we talk about division wise, but it's been 4 out of the last 5 have gone over 40 easy. And then a couple of them have gone over 50. And then they've had some that have not even made it to 20.
Not much to work with. It means it could go anyway.
So this game is in San Francisco. The last game in San Francisco was a 21-20 Rams win.
Oh, that's low.
Yeah, and the last game that they played at the beginning of the season was this season was 24-27 Rams.
Over under is 48.5 tomorrow.
I mean, they're seeing what they just both of these teams kind of did over the weekend,
yep,
full throttle games. I mean,
I don't know how you bet the under on this, but I think if you do, you have extreme leverage.
Well, the Rams are number 28 in the league against rush. And so if the 49ers are sort of looking at the stats, kind of looking at sort of how they're going to game attack, of course, they have the run game to match against that sort of porous rush defense. And so, but typically, though, when you start running the ball, that leads to sort of lower scoring just because the clock starts to tick away a little bit faster. So that's, of course, you're going to go with your traditional, your traditional running backs. But I would say, watch out for Deebo Samuel. I know he's gone 5-6, I think, games, just went to sleep. But I think this might be sort of a make or break game for him. I think in the last game, he actually had 5 rushing attempts in addition to 7 targets in the pass game. So they're trying to get him involved. Just feels like that type of a matchup, division matchup, where he might get a rushing touchdown potentially here in this. Probably not too much on a daily fantasy. But I was just kind of looking at him and kind of thinking sort of who could be a different play here. And I'm just looking at Deebo from the sense, again, that I know he's gone away. I know everyone's going to say he's only had 5 points or 3 points. I know, but he is a superstar. And I think they might want to get him juiced up.
I think you're 100% right. So Garindo's banged up.
Yeah, so, he did not practice. He's not practiced.
Yeah. And Deebo runs for them all the time. So Deebo's probably going to get more routes running. That's the first thing. And then back to what you said before, where
Izzy will answer this when we get to the end. I mean,
the run game might
get it
be,
out of this chat too.
Run game might be heavier in this one, which kills the clock. It'll be lower scoring because look what they did with Kyron last week. 31 touches, dude. That's insane.
Still, I also did that damn Blake Corum too, though. I did tell y'all to watch out for Blake Corum, and what happened?
You did call that, Cody. He's starting to eat into those totals, but it's that Kyron time. He did this last year. I had him in my fantasy league, and he just started going off towards the playoff time, just multiple 20-plus fantasy points per game.
So I give you a little bit of injury report. Obviously, you just mentioned Garendo, but I'll start with the Rams. Davis Allen, he's been kind of their pseudo number one tight end right now outside of Colby Parkinson. So it's kind of been weird. Like he's catching passes, Colby Parkinson's catching passes. So they really can't decide, right? He's questionable with the shoulder and did not practice. Tyler Davis, one of their defensive ends, did not practice and is questionable with the calf. Kobe Durant, one of their corners, he's a starter, I believe, is out with a chest injury. They will not get Tyler Higbee back again. They keep thinking that he's going to come back, but he's not. Bo Limmer, a center, questionable with a knee. Demarcus Robinson and Jordan Whittington, both questionable with shoulder injuries and did not practice. So that points me to toot toot. Yeah. Toot toot. It might be toot toot time. So, and then for the 49ers, guard Ben Barch. He was a Jag, right? Brad? Ben Barch, wasn't he a Jag?
Yes, he was.
He out with an ankle injury. Nick Bosa is still questionable with that hip and oblique injury, and he did not practice. Defensive tackle Khalil Davis, limited in practice and is questionable. Dre Greenlaw is limited in practice, is questionable with that Achilles. And then, as you guys said, Garendo, questionable with the foot injury, did not practice for the last 2 days. And then Trent Williams is out still with the ankle injury. So
that's gonna hurt the run game a little bit.
Yeah, man,
he was good. As I said,
I know that Phil, you say you don't like Cup, but
it's not that I don't like him, man. It's just when I play him, Puka pops off, and when I don't play him, he pops off. So I like Cup. I just don't like him and Puka on the same team. I need Puka to go somewhere and let it just be Cup show again.
So my question
it's going to be opposite answer.
Is it Cup or is it Nakua? Because I mean, Cup is coming off with 8, 6, 11, and 10 targets. So they're trying to get him the ball. It's almost as if eventually those are going to translate into touchdowns. But even at the same time, you did kind of see some take away a little bit from Nakua. But I guess what are your thoughts here on who you go with, Nakua?
From what I saw, there was 28 targets thrown and 22 of them went to him and Puka. So 6 targets didn't go to those 2 guys. So
yeah,
and those went to Tutu Atwell pretty much.
Pretty much.
Sure.
So they're definitely both the targets. I mean, personally, I think the guy who's going to get targeted more is going to be Puka, just because from what I've seen, that seems to be the game plan. But with what I said earlier, Puka is the highest owned captain on the slate. So, and Cup is not. Cup is almost half the ownership of him in the captain spot. Our motto is get different. I go Cup.
Yep.
So, 30 total targets on Sunday, to kind of like piggyback off what you said. They were Puka with 14, Cooper with Cup with 8, Tutu Atwell with 3, Parkinson with 1, Kyron with 2, Hunter Long and Demarcus Robinson both with 1. So I'm not worried about them.
22 targets to 2 people is crazy.
Yes,
that is crazy.
A 14, he almost doubled Cup's share again. And I know I mentioned it last time that he was doubling Cup's share. So Cup is getting a lot of looks, but game scripts seem to be around Nakua until people figure him out. It's almost like they're doing it because people had figured Cup out. It's been 2-3 seasons of him torching people to where they have film on him and they're figuring him out. but no one can figure out Nakua yet. So game script is Nakua until they do.
And the problem is that with the two of them, it's not that they're both, it's that they're both so expensive. They're like literally the two of the three highest most expensive guys. This is not like a Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle separation where Tyreek Hill may be 12,000 on a slate, and then you have Jalen Waddle down at like 9 or at least 10 or something like 9.5. Where here, they're separated by 1,000 in the flex position. So that's what's crazy.
Yeah, you probably can't have both tomorrow. And I always go with ownership because, like I always say, if I play Puka and he pops off,
he runs the ball too, though. That's the problem.
The majority of the field is with it.
He has 5 carries.
Money though, so I'm all about making money. I don't want to win and win $100 because I split with fucking 5,000 people. I'd rather lose. So I'd rather take a shot on somebody with lower ownership and hope that the higher ownership fails. So that way, every time my guy succeeds, I gain thousands when they do good, not $10 or $1. Or you just watch, like you watch Nakua score and you go from 180,000th place to 170,000th place, and you're like, oh, I didn't move anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't like that. So, and that's what
like,
pay attention to on showdowns, because the lineups are spread so thin that a lot of people are typically going to have the same lineup. So you have to get unique as fuck. You have to leave salary on the table. Do not try to use all your salary in showdown. If you do, you will never win. It's probably tip 1 for everybody.
And this game, I'm going to line this one up. I'm going to put it right there on a pin. I'm lining this one up for you, especially with no running back. This could be Kyle Juszczyk's touchdown game with no running back there for if Garendo plays or doesn't play. I still feel like this could be Kyle Juszczyk. We've seen it before. It always seems to happen once a year in the showdown slate with the 49ers, and it's a Kyle Juszczyk game. I'm not saying he's captain. I'm not saying he's captain worthy, but in a flex, he might be the guy in your flex spot that you need to win this.
Cheap and gets a touchdown, and that's all he gets, and it's enough because it's like 7 points.
Yeah, and he's, like you said, you cheap enough to pay up for someone else. But kind of back to Puka. I mean, Puka had 5 carries for 16 yards and a touchdown against the Bills. That's his extra touchdown. That's where his second touchdown came, is on a carry. So he does those little end around type, little jet sweep type things, and that's where he gets his extra touches. And like I said, because he's a good blocker too.
Yeah, it's going to be tough tomorrow. It's strictly ownership for me when it comes to the captain. I mean, I think you even get even more leverage, going to other people like Kittle, who's not a bad play. He's way down on the ownership and could certainly break the slate. Kyron's down there, but even beneath Kittle. Like, there's opportunity here to be different. There's no reason to put all your eggs in Nakua or Cup.
The Rams are actually bottom in the league against tight ends and fantasy performance. So definitely that Kittle play, is, even though it's a chalk play, it's definitely even stronger play, just because they've seemed to struggle against the tight ends. So that's definitely a good play. Any love for what's that, Juwan Jennings there tomorrow?
That he's got the most receptions on the 49ers, and it's not even close. I don't even think anybody knows that. And
Juwan Jennings costs more than Deebo Samuel, so that should tell you something.
Yeah, it's because they're seeing it finally. I called this dude a couple of weeks in this season when no one was on him, and he was breaking slates. Like, he's the look to now.
Yeah.
More targets than anybody on that team.
I mean, he's a pure body though. Like, dude's a body receiver too. Like, he's a big.
I mean, he's a number 3 though. So But I mean, I don't
he's the number one right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's consistent enough for you to expect what's been happening. Like I agree with Brad. This might be a Samuel game. And I think people think that as well because Samuel's the third highest owned captain. So,
and you don't forget that if Guerrero doesn't play, the starter will be Patrick Taylor, who scored a touchdown.
Right?
Yes, last week. And then they have like Keyshawn Vaughn, I believe, is one of their backups.
Super leverage play, Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah.
0.7% owned in the captain spot.
And he was getting I think he was at least on the field. I don't think there was any targets or receptions the last couple games, but he has the ability to really separate and kind of get out in space out there. So that's definitely sort of get different play.
I'm trying to see, did he play in the first matchup?
I wonder if Gorindo will be out. Did that make Patrick Taylor such a good play?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't practice.
I mean, right now he's got 0% in the captain spot.
I mean, Jawan Jennings did go off in the game against the Rams. So I'm looking at week 3. This was week 3. It was Jawan Jennings, 11 receptions for 175 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Rams in week 3. I believe was that no? Did Kittle not play in that game because he has no receptions? Oh, he did not. He did not. So Kittle has not played against the Rams since 2023.
How'd he do?
He went 3 for 3 for 30. So he's had some pretty abysmal games against the Rams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But he's had that haven't had amounted to over 50 receiving yards, but 5 receptions, 2 receptions, 3, and has had in that time span 2 touchdowns. But he's had a couple games before, actually 4 games of over 100 receptions. 100 receiving yards, and he's had 6 touchdowns in 12 games. So he has not had a touchdown since
50% chance to score a touchdown.
Yeah. And he's just killing it right now. Like I literally feel like Brock Purdy's like without some of these guys that they're looking for, like without Ayuk, that's where he goes, right? So
I would, Stefan.
I think so too.
We were just talking about him.
Who is your quarterback? Only other thing is like I could say is like the production.
Oh, is your quarterback isn't Hurts?
Yeah. Because I'm looking right now. Let's see. Do a little. Well, we can answer. I guess we can. I think the Rams win this game, to be honest. I think the Rams win. I think the Rams momentum is just too hot and heavy right now.
Go Niners.
Actually, no, I picked the Niners. I'm going to say the Niners. I changed my mind. The Niners are going to win this. It's in San Francisco.
I'm going Niners in the under.
I'll go opposite. I'm going to go Rams. I'm going to go Rams tomorrow. Score just enough. I like 27-24.
Damn, that's over.
I like 27-24.
27-24. This would be exactly what happened in week 3. So
I promise I wasn't looking at last time score.
Going 24-20.
It's 49. I'm gonna pull it back and I'm gonna say that it's like 27. What did I say? You said 24. I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go under that. 20. I'm gonna say it's 20. I think I get ahead and it's 20. What did you just say, Phil?
24-20 for a total of 44 points.
I'm gonna say okay. Yeah, I was gonna say 27-21. I think that they may not even kick a field goal. Actually, yeah, that's what I like. I like that one better.
I like field goals in division rivals.
Ooh,
That red
17
zone
to
defense
20.
is a little bit better.
17. I'm gonna go 2017. Is that what you didn't say that? I'm gonna go
24-20.
I'm gonna go 2017 49ers. There we go. Let's do that.
Questions up.
So we started
Questions.
here.
I know
Okay,
Warren,
so
somebody-
Paraco says he's a hockey fan, it looks like. Lord Stanley there on his picture. Baker versus the
Who just won? Was it the Rangers? No. Who just won the championship for
Florida Panthers.
Panthers? Ah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
The season just started back up. Baker versus the Chargers or Knicks versus Indy. And Garrett Wilson versus Jax or Higgins versus Titans. Higgins has been frying.
Actually, a good ass question.
That's a great
and
question.
Also Denver D, if that matters at all. And then he said here it's PPR 10-man league.
Another hockey fan.
Clearly, that took someone out.
I guess I'm a Caps fan just by where I grew up and who I grew up watching.
I don't have a team. I wish we'd get
I don't
one
watch the sport.
I wish we'd get one here in Houston so that I could actually get into hockey. Because I don't want Texas hockey, which is what Pat McAfee calls the Dallas Stars. I hate anything that's from Dallas, so I can't be a fan of them.
The best we have in Jax is the Jacksonville Icemen. It's actually a pretty good little small time league, but it's hockey. It's
Florida has a lot of teams. Dude, you got Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning. Is there another one? No, that might be it.
No, it's just
but that's two in the NHL. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right,
that's
so
why he doesn't like
on
Florida
question?
Panthers. He's like
Broncos is 10-man league, so his team is stacked. So he's got Baker and Nick, Saquon and HN. Jesus Christ. Lamb and Jetta, and Joku, and his flex is Higgins or Garrett Wilson.
I like Higgins over Wilson.
Who is it? Baker versus Indy?
No, Knicks versus
Knicks
Indy.
versus Indy and Baker
versus the Chargers.
Chargers. Okay.
It's so tough, dude. I think I'm gonna go Baker.
He has been playing really strong, Baker.
I just
Bo's been coming along, man. Bo's been I kind of wrote him off.
Broncos are 24. Broncos are 24 team total, and Bucks are a 21-point team total.
Yeah,
21
but the Chargers have a higher chance of making the game more competitive, and they're actually favorited in the game. So if the Chargers are favored and they're in the lead, Baker's going to air it out. Versus Bo Nix is on the favorited team at home. Indy has not been offensively there, so he may not have to go hard because of that. I'm going to go Baker because other than that, it's close as fuck.
I mean, it's literally this is QB 6 and QB 8. So I don't dislike the Baker Mayfield play at all. I feel like he has the potential to be league winner, and I think Bo Nix has that potential as well. You just have the difference is, and you would think that there would be a big giant disparity in rushing yards. Like, because you just watch Bo Nix and it feels like he runs the ball more. It's only 60 yards. And touchdowns, it's only 1. So Bo Nix has 60 more and 1 touchdown more rushing than Baker Mayfield.
And I like Higgins over Wilson for the same reason. Game script. So Bengals are 26-point total team in a high over-under game, 47-point over-under. Whereas the Jets are only a 22-point team, and the over-under is 40. As you can see recently, I think we just mentioned a little bit ago, Jags are not been offensively there, but they've been there defensively, if that makes any sense. So they're not putting up points. Jets definitely ain't been putting up points, and they're the same. Defense has been there besides the last fourth quarter and overtime last week, but other than that, limiting the Miami to 15 points an entire game, and then the game before they had 6 turnovers on Seattle. So, like I'd say defensively, these teams are probably a much slower game. I like Higgins in this one, especially since Chase just popped off. It might be a Higgins game.
I mean, Higgins, this last game against Dallas was the first time he's had single under 15 fantasy points.
Yeah, when I have him as my captain.
Since week 4.
Yeah, he owes me money.
So 4.3 points.
I'm about to tweet him. Where my money,
gonna go
man?
Baker, but I'm still gonna go G Wilson over the Jaguars, even though the game script might not be there, because I do foresee a touchdown for Wilson in that matchup, which might do a little bit
up at 10
push it over a little bit than the Higgins versus Titans. With him being sort of that the number 2 there, Higgins, and Wilson playing more like the 1 at the Jets. I just think there is a touchdown out there. I don't see that game going real high on the scoring, but I do like that.
Rumor has it that Breece Hall might be coming back.
And I do actually like Denver's defense versus Indy. I agree with
like they're gonna run a lot.
Yeah, that's what scares me. This is essentially like boomer bust here type shit. So
that's a good question. It's tough.
It's hard. I think neither one of these teams, no, actually the 4 of those teams, none of them have anything to play for at this point, just ruining other people's seasons. But I personally like that. I'm gonna go with the Joe Burrow. Shout out to War Eagle with this Joe Burrow play. I like Joe Burrow better. I like the quarterback better for Higgins than I do the quarterback for Wilson at this point. That's my thing. So I'm gonna base my decision on Higgins has had just an off week, and the Dallas was just better at like covering everybody that wasn't Jamar Chase. So I'm gonna go with Higgins here. I think Higgins, but I don't think that you're shit out of luck either way, to be honest, because they both are good plays there.
Both good matchups.
Come back and let us know what you did and how it did.
Yes, we'd love to know. We'd love to know.
Please follow up.
Hit us on the socials, and I'll put them in the chat so you can.
Thank you for the question.
Follow us. Thanks, Perico. Okay, so all right. So Magic said drop Ertz for Sincere. So like I said, and his other tight end is Hawk. He's got right now he has Kamara, Jacobs, Jones. I'm blanking out. Jones who?
Aaron Jones.
Oh yeah, must be. And he had C-Mac. So he got the first round bye despite having C-Mac. That is crazy.
Good work, Mr. Magic. Good work. That's coaching right there.
And it hurts not having your first pick. Yes, it does. It does. That's terrible.
That's almost a killer. So to get that first round bye.
So he's talking about Sincere or Ertz for Ertz. I don't like that at all because I don't like Raiders running backs. But the team is doing a little bit more with a little bit less right now.
It must be a Monday.
Unless there's a pass catching component, it just is hard.
What did he do this last weekend?
Do they have a bye this week?
No. They play on Monday. There's 2 games on Monday. It's their Monday night. By the way, there will be no Wednesday show next week. I will not be here, and I cannot move it. So we will not. You're hearing it here first, and Phil and Brad are hearing it here first. There will be no Wednesday show next week. So no Chargers in Denver. So come to Saturday. But Sincere McCormick had 15 carries for 78 yards against Tampa. They play. Who the hell did they play on Monday? I know it's a. It's not on Monday. I thought it was on Monday. Yeah, Atlanta. They play Atlanta. And it could be Desmond Ridder starting at quarterback. Man, I just don't Are you really going? But my thing is Magic. Are you going to play Sincere if you pick him up? That's my thing. Like, are you going to play him over Kamara, Jacobs, or Aaron Jones? That's my. I don't know if you are. Like, I really don't know.
Unless he wants one more, maybe he always runs 3 running backs, so he wanted one more running back, kind of the stash just in case if something goes wrong.
The running game has not been there for them, so I would say keep.
That's the only thing. Yep.
Yeah, that's what scares me. That's what scares me total about McCormick, because I don't know if you're going to play him and waste a spot when you only have Hawk as your other tight end, and you have a plethora of running backs there to run a 2 running back scheme, and this is PPR as well. So, personally, I wouldn't do it because I like to have a backup just in case, for some reason, God forbid, in the next 2 weeks, something happens to Hawk and you need him and you make it to the championship, which should be this week. I mean, 2 weeks for y'all if you don't play like maniacs like us. So I wouldn't personally. But if you're trying to block somebody else from doing it and they need a running back, maybe. If you're trying to block your opponent, that might be a good move. But otherwise, I don't know if it really makes a lot of sense if you're not going to play him. I just don't. I don't know. I don't like it from a standpoint of like it makes any sense. So tell us what you do, and because we want to know what you decide.
Yep.
Izzy says flex Cup or Montgomery. Well, hey Izzy, can you tell us anything else about your lineup? I mean, if you're having a flex Cup or Monty, that team is loaded as shit.
Loaded, has to be.
8-10-man
league right there, just off of that little.
I like Monty. I don't even shit who else is on your team.
I like Monty as well. Anyway,
I don't know who's getting the ball with Cup and Puka. With Monty, you know he's getting the red zone every time.
And I think he's had double-digit performance.
Yeah.
Double-digit performances. So, I mean,
and that game has 54.5 right now. It's 54.5 over under right now.
With
they have Lions putting up
28. Yeah. 28.5 point team total. Whew.
We'll be talking about that one.
We'll be talking about that one on Saturday. So if you come back on Saturday with the rest of your lineup, might be able to answer it then. But
I'll definitely be on the slate.
Yeah, 100%. That one will be, and it might be something that you change your mind. And I know you're trying to figure out for tomorrow if you should play Cup or not. I just really need to know who the other people that your other receivers that tell you not to play Cup, because I think that you could possibly play both here. If you had the rest of your lineup, you could possibly play both of these guys. I mean, to be over Cup, you have.
I wonder if he has Stafford.
That's insane magic. That shit was crazy. But he maybe not. I don't know. The fact is that he's not playing Cup. Who is his other wide receivers that you're sitting on? Is
Chase,
it Jetta,
probably.
Chase?
Jetta, Chase. Scott both.
I mean, Jetta, Chase, Amon-Ra. I mean, Terry McLaurin, our man Jackson Smith and Jigba. Maybe that's the only. Guys that I can think of.
And looking at this main slate, there's some good bunch of areas to target, dude.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Right now,
one of them is low scoring. It looks like it's going to be a high scoring game to me. Skins and the Saints.
Oh, the return of that man formerly known as Marshawn Lattimore. He waited it. He waited to come back.
He's coming to play against
us. He waited to come back to play in New Orleans.
And we don't even got Carr playing, dude. It's going to be
concussion and a fractured arm, right?
That's probably why the over-under is so low, dude. They're like, the Saints ain't even going to move the ball
at all.
But I don't see the Skins letting off on us neither. So
no, they need to keep the foot down.
Yeah,
to move up.
Yep.
Yeah, scary. So Oh, so yeah, so we kind of answered Steven's question. Jennings, I think Jennings, depending on, unless you just happen to have Jalen Hurts and you're hoping to God that he throws it to AJ the whole time.
And maybe they might, just because of the fact that there's all this drama in the news. Maybe they try to like kill the beef by throwing it to him a lot. There is that possibility.
He is going against Pittsburgh though. He will draw Joey Porter Jr.
Definitely not. Jennings all day.
I think Jennings
Porter's like top 3 corner in the league right now.
I think he's better. I think Jennings has the better matchup here. And AJ Brown is our wide receiver 25, and Jennings is wide receiver 17. And he's the pseudo number 1 right now on his team. And Devontae Smith is back and healthy. So, and then if Dallas Goedert comes back, even Grant Calcaterra is catching touchdowns. Too many mouths to feed there in Philadelphia for me, for AJ Brown.
Exactly what it is.
War Eagle, our man here, saying at 12-2, fingers crossed, let James cook.
Who just fucked my whole lineup, let's say. Man had 4 fantasy
Junior
points.
Is playing
the Ravens.
The Ravens. So yeah, I just due to that matchup.
13-point total is what they have.
We just talked about the Buffalo over-under, too. Like, there's going to be plenty scoring opportunity for Cook.
Did you not see what Josh Jacobs just did to Detroit?
Well, did you just not see what James Cook just did to my lineup?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, but I'm just saying for War Eagle's point here, what Josh Jacobs just did, my only problem with this is Josh Allen is more than likely going to vulture a touchdown from him.
That's why I was pissed last week.
That's my only thing. But I
vulture
think that
3 from him.
In this game in particular is what I'm saying. Like, it could be, it's in Detroit, inside, on a turf.
Go with it.
I'm just saying. I'm saying, you got to go James Cook. This sets up for a great running back game inside.
As much as he fucked my lineup, dude, he's much better game script and a much better runner than Tracy.
I don't think that the Giants move the ball enough, threaten the Ravens enough to get Tracy going. He has a great matchup. The Ravens are not that good against the run, but I do think that James Cook has that game's going to be more competitive, and I could see them abandoning Tyrone Tracy early, and then the possibility of them bringing back in Devin Singletary. So I think let James Cook is what you need to do here, I think.
Yeah.
So Magic says, is Braylon Allen over the guy over Isaiah Davis? Well, fucking Isaiah Davis out there, like I don't even know. That team is just.
But if Breece Hall's back, I think it's irrelevant, right?
Yeah. I did see that it's possible.
Is Breece Hall coming back?
He's questionable.
Yeah, okay. I did see that they said that he could come back and play this.
At least Allen is more of that sort of the power back type, sort of going to kind of run in between the tackles, get you the kind of hard yard, short yardage back. There is a little bit of a pass catching component to his game as well, but they seem to really use him more in short yardage. So definitely if Hall's coming back, then that's going to really kind of
the Rattler or the Riddler, whatever. That's who's playing quarterback for us, I think.
No, Isaiah. I thought it was not Rattler. It's not gonna be Rattler. It's Jake.
It's not.
No, it's what's his name? Jay.
Hold on.
Could
have swore I saw it was gonna be
maybe it is Rattler, but I thought they said it was gonna be the dude that
Jake Hayner.
Yeah.
Is Rattler hurt as well?
Well, Hayner's been taking all the snaps. Like he took all the snaps. He took all the snaps after Carr came out the other day.
I don't know. That's probably one we're gonna have to watch. You're gonna see Taysom Hill come out there with his fucking body casted up, throwing the ball.
Yeah, concussion and no problem. No problem. We appreciate it. We want to know. Hopefully you win, and then you get the title, and you say, hey, those guys over at Ballers and Breeze help me out, and We just want to know. We just want you to win, dog. Like that's all we care about.
I'm gonna be real. I don't know anything about Haener, but I do know that rookie quarterbacks like to dump off the tight ends and running backs. So I don't know if it's gonna hurt his value, just considering they get pressured and they panic and they just dump off straight to the running back, straight to the tight end. So I don't know.
More apt. He's more of a pocket passer a bit, so they're more apt to run the screen game, which is where Kamara eats. So if you can really, so actually I would almost say it enhances it because it kind of opens up the playbook a little bit more.
Who the fuck else has he got to throw to?
To kind of throw it to as far as Kamara perspective, not from an overall.
Yeah, tight end and running back only for new quarterbacks. They're not like I'll tell you who's not going to eat here. Marcus Valdez-Scantling, like dude runs his A-dot's like 50 yards down fucking field. I mean, he might try to hit him with one, but you don't see that too often unless the coach is giving him permission to do that and calling for that.
Well, I can tell you this: that fucking Jake Haener in 29 attempts has as many touchdowns passing as Spencer Rattler has in 99 attempts. One.
Oh.
So
I don't like Spencer Rattler, if that helps. So I'm kind of glad that it's somebody different and not the Rattler.
And then I mean Haener is a Fresno State quarterback, so he is kind of a short version of a shorter version of Derek Carr anyway. So
Drew Brees out there?
Nah. He's wish.com, Temu or whatever. Derek Carr is what this guy is.
Oh no.
Yeah, so yeah.
Damn, dude. So we got nothing back there.
Yeah, you could be a little bit hoed. So but yeah, if we got any more questions, we'll hit them up real quick before we hop out of here for the evening. We appreciate everybody here. We went a little longer than normal tonight. A
little bit.
Appreciate the question.
Trying to give the people all the info we can. Trying to give them the best.
Shout out to Sports for You. I don't know if y'all can see the shirt.
There you go.
Where am I tonight? John and the boys wore there. Or John wore his last night on their stream. So
appreciate the love.
Y'all, absolutely not. Everybody in all the league that I'm in are out. They're out.
Like complete collapse.
Yeah, totally out. They're like the worst. They're just in. Well, actually, I believe KP and Doug still have ability to get into the playoffs as the bottom seed. But I think that they have to get. They're not totally out, but I haven't seen anybody with a number one seed. So good for you, Magic. That's dope. We think that's good. We want to see how that pans out.
That's a solid ass matchup, War Eagle. I was just reading that.
The guy I have to play has Josh Allen, Chase Brown, Rico, Nico, Jesus Christ, and Addison.
The good thing about this matchup is you have the only thing that can kill Allen, and that's Cook. So if Allen is not popping off, it's because Cook is.
He's got a Josh Allen stack. But you got the Daniels, the Scary Terry, and
against
Daniels.
the Saints with no Lattimore. So Scary Terry should get you at least two.
That's
unless that Adebo, the Adebo guy on the Saints is pretty nice. So I depends on who Adebo's on.
That's gonna be a real good.
But that is a solid, playoff. If that's
you're skipping on Joe. Right, you're skipping on the passing leader, Joe Burrow, for the Scary Terry, Jaden Daniels stack. So I'm right there with you, buddy. I need Jaden Daniels and Scary Terry to do work, guys, so I can keep the number one overall seed. So
it's a solid matchup.
Who's
projected to win? I know they give the projections. Who's projected to win
right now? Yeah.
Oh, hey, you got to definitely come back in here and tell us who won this.
Let us know if you win it or lose it.
I think that he's got to be projected more because he's got McBride over Henry and Reek over Shakir.
He's got Monty. He's got Cook, but he's got Allen and Shakir. So
I mean, we're playing Nico. Nico is gonna draw Jalen Ramsey.
If he,
he's gonna play. Oh shit! That's well, the fact that that sucks, dude. That sucks bad. This sucks bad. That's a guy. CMC is a guy that's on my never draft again list. Like literally, will never do it unless he falls like the 3rd round or some shit, 4th round. He's on my do not draft ever again list. Too many painful memories of myself when he was 154, 150
points. Yeah, I have a feeling that one's gonna come down to something close. It's really.
Do you have kickers and defense, because it don't look like you listed them. So you are just straight offensive players. No defensive kickers. No defensive kickers. That's the bread and butter where the money's going to be made if y'all have defensive kickers. If not, it might be time to just pray to God, the fantasy gods, that works out, because your lineup's stacked.
You just gotta hope that is
James that's cooking.
Cook that's not getting garnished by Allen.
Yeah, now absolutely. Now your lineup, you have to play James Cook over Tracy. You have to, for your own sake.
Yeah, because you need Allen to fail, and if Allen fails, it's because Cook is succeeding. Yeah. So it's a win-win when you're watching the game, and vice versa. Like if Allen is succeeding, then Cook is not. But you need to have that leverage.
Oh, you do have defenses and kickers, or you don't?
Yes.
Yes, they do. Okay. Well, hopefully your defense comes through for you. So. But yeah, we appreciate you guys all hanging out with us. And like I said, we will be back on Saturday, 6:30 Central, 7:30 East time, like normal. Super Bowl predictions right now.
I was hoping it was going to be the Saints after fucking week 2 in the Superdome, but poof.
Right now,
fell apart after that.
Beginning of the season, I would have told you it was my Texans and the Lions, but after watching our offense play like dog shit for the last 3, 4, 5 weeks, and we can't score a touchdown in the second half, I hate to say this shit, but it's going to be the Lions and the Chiefs. It's going to be the Lions.
Give me Detroit and Baltimore.
That'd be good.
Detroit and Baltimore. I just like that
Detroit and the Buffalo Bills. Like this week's game rematch.
That's what I was gonna say. Detroit.
I like that too. I just am looking for a really good matchup, but also
I think everybody's on Detroit though.
Nah, I think eventually someone might find a way to figure out the Chiefs in the playoffs. I don't know how, but I just feel like there might be one team that figures it out. Maybe I guess this is Baltimore. If not, then someone.
Ooh. Bates is a guy too. I have Bates as well, and I have the Bengals defense. I picked them up, snatched them. So yeah. That could be possible. That could be possible. MCDC though, man. Dan Campbell is that guy.
I also agree with that.
With the
that
Vikes.
Is a very possible outcome.
Yeah. Sam Darnold going to live up to first round billing. So
I think it's going to be exciting for DFS and playoffs this year. I know that.
Yeah. Yes. And we will keep going with DFS stuff after the fantasy season is gone and over with. So should you start Pittsburgh's defense instead of the Chargers defense? Pittsburgh.
I would.
Against Philly?
I would.
Against Philly?
Yeah, they have AJ Brown trouble right now. Steelers are very stingy defense. They don't allow a lot. The over-under is less than the over-under in the Chargers game. And Baker is going to eat against the Chargers. Talked about that earlier. We've seen bad games out of the Eagles this year. Good night, Magic.
Thanks Magic. Thanks for popping in, bro.
Questions.
Thank you, Mr. Magic, for the support.
I think I start Pittsburgh here.
I don't hate either one, to be honest.
That's a tough either way. I don't feel really great about either matchup from a
the saving grace for the Chargers defense is it's in LA and it's a Tampa team. Got to go to the West Coast.
Weather's there is going to be nice. It's probably going to be fucking cold and maybe snowy in Philly. Rainy, sloshy. It's going to play to the under.
It could happen.
Yeah.
Give me Steelers.
Yeah, I don't dislike either one. So it's lucky. It's good to have. But anyways, guys, we appreciate y'all. War Eagle, as always, we appreciate it. We'd love to see you on Saturday. Pop back in. You got great questions all the time, buddy, and we appreciate you. And Magic, thanks for hopping in. Anybody else that's still around, we appreciate all of y'all, and we will see y'all on Saturday. All right.
Best of luck.
Peace out.